This is a video about caring for rubber plants, and I will show you this one first. Isn't she beautiful? She's a tiny little thing and she's just throwing her soil everywhere. But she's beautiful, compact, lovely. Love her. However, just in the spirit of transparency, this is my other rubber plant. I've actually got 3, but this one's the worst. I'll tell you why we did that later, but it's actually working. It's fine. It's what I wanted. I've got notes here. I'll just keep looking down because otherwise I'll go off on a tangent. So, most important thing is light. They can tolerate a wide range of light. In fact, let's go through the things they can tolerate a wide range of. Light, watering, humidity, temperature. However, if we increase those, that is better. If you keep a rubber plant in low humidity, low temperature, low light, and don't water it very often, you'll make it more prone for pests. You know what I mean? And it will tend to grow. You'll get one stem and it'll just look a little bit sort of sparse and sad. Loads of light, nice and warm, not too hot. You want it, if you're comfortable, your plant's comfortable, and water it well. You'll have a happy rubber plant. I keep mine, this one is in a south facing window. The others are currently outside. They usually are in, right, so they're like equidistant between a south facing window and a north facing window. So they get a lot of ambient light, but they don't get that much direct light. And they grow fine, but they don't grow as well as this one. This one's just a baby, and look, it's already like branched. It's got this main branch. It's not branched again. If I wanted it to branch again, I'd literally just chop it off, and then each one would likely branch. I don't bother with all that notching. I just don't think it's necessary. Whenever I've chopped my rubber plant, it has decided this is where I'm going to grow from. And I'm like, well, you know yourself better than me, so that's fine. So this is in a south facing window and I water it twice a week. Now, that might seem like a lot, but south facing window, it gets a lot of light and heat, so the water will evaporate. So it's not like the plant's using it. And I do tend to water it when it's dry. I just pick it up, and if it feels a bit light, then I'm like, you could do with some water. I've said this in another video, but you can't look at the leaves and decide whether it looks thirsty. You have to check the soil, especially with rubber plants, because they've got quite thick, succulent leaves, that by the time it's wrinkled, it's really thirsty. And whilst it can absolutely tolerate that, you're not going to get the best growth out of it if it's forever striving for a drink. So yeah, when it comes to your water, light, humidity and temperature, you kind of need to just move them around until you've got what you want. You might not want, like, these things are literal trees. You might not want one that's that big. So if you've got a nice spot that you want it to live in, pop it there and see how it grows. If it doesn't grow that well, move it to somewhere brighter. Unless you think there's a reason why it's not the light. So, for example, low temperatures can really stunt growth. Humidity, not so much. You get slightly smaller leaves. It's not that big of a deal, especially, as I say, with something so succulent. Humidity, probably not really worth worrying about. Light and temperature, they are far more important. Fertiliser, I don't even think about it with these things. They just don't, they don't care. If you over-fertilise them, you can get the crystals come out the backs of the leaves, but I don't think it hurts them. Like, one of mine does it all the time. That's how they grow. A little bit like Pilea peperomoides. They just seem to be good at filtering stuff out. When they are young like this, they are quite pest susceptible, and if they get pests, it can kill them. Like, I had another one of these that died of thrips, I think, and spider mites at the same time. So do keep an eye on them when they're young. When they're older, they still get pests, but they are not a delicious treat for them. So they sort of get, I don't know, like the outcasts. They might get the odd one, but only because there was nothing better available. Unlike something like a calathea, that everyone loves. They are toxic, and if I just show you, they are toxic to eat. Right, they're not going to kill you unless you eat a lot. They're more going to give, it's like an upset stomach type thing. I don't believe it's to do with the oxalic acid. They might have oxalic acid in their leaves, but they have latex in them. They're rubber plants. So I cut this one back, and it has bled latex all over, and it sort of stained it. You can probably pick it off. But yeah, it is an irritant, but it doesn't, like, I have such sensitive skin, but that doesn't irritate me. I don't know why. But yeah, just something to worry about. If you are propping, then wash your hands afterwards. Ideally wear gloves. I have intended to make this video for a while, but I wanted to include a section on propagation, and I have nothing to say. Other than if you choose to root by chopping it and putting it in water, it takes freaking ages because they don't seem to understand what to do. So this has, it started on its roots. You can see these like little, it looks like little specks of mold, but these are like the primordial roots. They're the thing that it grows before it grows actual roots. But you'll note there's a new freaking leaf. Like, priorities simply aren't right. Same with these two. This one's got more roots, but if you notice, it's growing the roots right by the bottom, which is, like, often you have to chop the bottom bit off because it gets rot. But as you'll notice, 2 new leaves, just put them on my forehead. And one here. Pruning is not something you need to worry about because you can literally just chop them back and they love it. They do this thing where you chop them back and then they do nothing and you're like, oh great, I've killed it. And then all these buds happen. You get so many, like they grow in every leaf crotch. On every leaf crotch there is a new bud, and then at the top there is so much new growth. Like this is the next, I think this is going to be like the main growth point. But yeah, I just whacked it outside for the summer because I was like, I needed to sort of reset them because I've had them for so long and they were sort of leggy and sad. So I'm like, do you know what? Let's see if we can have an actual tree. So far, so good. If you acclimate them gradually, you know, take them out at 7 a.m, bring them back in at say 10, do that for a week and then leave them out longer and longer and longer. You could absolutely really supercharge the growth without losing all the other leaves. But I'm not doing that. Even if I had all the time in the world, I just would not do that. I don't know why. That's just not something for me. So mine got whacked outside. The leaves all burnt, but they'll still be providing nutrients. So yeah, amount of growth points it can sustain will depend on the roots. And I suppose it'll probably have a number in mind. But interestingly, my variegated one has bounced back faster than the burgundy one, and this one burnt to a crisp, whereas the burgundy one didn't burn as badly. This one I hope to... Have you got spider mites? Yeah. Classic you. It's not your fault, it's the varicosum. It's fine. We'll wash you down. So yeah, that is rubber plant care. They are incredibly chill. If you are worried about pruning them or anything like that, like, don't be. They seem to thrive on it. They're not like a monstera where you chop it and then it sulks and then it will be like, right, that's fine, but we are growing pathetic growth until I've decided that it's time to grow up. These things, you get a couple of the like practice leaves are just tiny little, and then it'll just go back to being cool, especially if you've increased the light. Right, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to go. Super easy. The variegated ones I don't think are any more difficult than the burgundy ones. I've never had a green one. You can't have that many because they are massive. So yeah. Also, and this is it interesting? You know, there's like the ruby tinache and the white one. I think it's, I'm not saying that the people who grow them are liars, but mine was always white. The new growth does have like a pink tinge, but since putting it outside, it is like the new growth is pink. So that is rubber plant care. They are so easy. Don't overthink it. Just give them a lot of light and a lot of water. The rest of it honestly doesn't matter. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.